Hello. I always do that. Why do I attempt to take a drink of tea before it comes on? Hello, welcome back to Bengals UK. It's our online tailgate. It's week. I don't know what week it is. Don't care anymore. Who are we playing? The Giants. We're playing the Giants at Paul Brown Stadium today, and we're going to attempt to have some fun and some frolics here online, which kind of sounds weird, doesn't it? Really, but the family version of fun and frolics here online. Joining me today, as per usual, we have Peter Danswell. Hello, Peter.
Good day.
And Jamie Rowe. Hello, Jamie.
Hello.
What is your moniker today?
Zach failed Joe, Zach must go, which I think kind of sums up my my tweeting for the week.
Now, we have a packed show for you as ever. We have some more food stuff. We've got Laurie Claridge joining us yet again. I think she was a big hit when we did our chili special. And, of course, we've just had Thanksgiving. So Laurie is going to join us today to talk through her own Thanksgiving meal, what it contains, how she made it. And it is truly staggering and will make you very, very hungry. But we also have some other people popping on. And one of those people have just called in now. And he is live from Paul Brown Stadium. Yes, Paul Brown Stadium, Cincinnati. Let's say hello to our old friends. Old friend. Well, yes, old friend, Jeremy Conley, a.k.a. Bengals captain. Let's bring him in. Jeremy, how you doing?
Hooday. And yes, I am old. I'm a friend and I am old.
No, I meant that in the most affectionate sense possible, really. How are you, Jeremy? How are things?
I am doing well. I am Jessless today. She is home taking care of the Chihuahua, so yeah. I miss her. But I have a new friend today.
So, yeah, there he is. I mean, let's be honest, it's not quite Jess, is he? But
no. He's a handsome dude, but he's not Jess. No.
Exactly. There he is. There he is. Quality Gino shirt. Jeremy, it looks like a lovely day in Cincinnati there. It looks perfect.
You know, it is night and day compared to the last time we tried this with the wind blowing through, my underwear, and it hurt. It was painful. This is perfect. I'm excited.
So how are you feeling about today? Obviously, I think a lot of Bengals fans were so deflated and upset about last week. What's the mood like as you're walking into the stadium today?
We get here really early, obviously, so we didn't run into too many people. Yeah, the staff was in great spirits there. I'm kind of numb. I'm going to cheer. I'm going to get loud. I'm probably going to lose my voice by second quarter. I think we could sneak any of these winnable games out. We just have to get a little bit of luck. Maybe Allen lights it up. Maybe we have a good rushing day. Maybe the defense does what it needs to do. There's so many factors that we could actually pull it off. My emotions are a little too attached to the talent and the strategy on the field. So I have a hard time right now just missing the hurt, the heartbreak over Joe Burrow being injured. But that doesn't have anything to do with what happens on the field. And we very well could pull off some wins, today being one of those winnable games.
How do you think it is going to be? I mean, it's going to be quite a conservative game plan, you would imagine, for Brandon Allen today. And you expect – I mean, thankfully we're playing the Giants, who aren't great against the run. So you'd hope that they would really get Gio or attempt to get Gio and P. Ryan going today, right?
Absolutely. I'm looking for heavy Gio and P. Ryan, and I'm still looking for some good quality carries from my man Travion Williams. So, I'm sure they could hey, and it's that time of the season. We've got a backup quarterback playing. We're out of the playoff race. Time to see what we've got. Zach did that a little bit last season. so I could see it this season too. So he might get some carries himself.
Where do you stand on all the tanking talk? Is it too soon to be talking about the so-called tank? Do you subscribe to that talk at all?
You know, I've said it before, and for me, I know, nobody signs my paycheck here. That's somebody else. I'm not on the payroll. I can root and cheer for these guys. I am not powerful enough to make somebody score a touchdown. I'm not that important. So I can cheer. I'm going to hope for every win, but I am going to find some silver lining in every loss because of the draft position. This is the time of year where I would like to see some experimentation. Just like last year, what I thought with some people or some of these plays maybe would have been better in a different situation, but they wanted to try them out and see if we could execute. Do it again. If that trial ends up meaning we don't get a first down, or we've got a game winner on the line and we don't win, I'll let the team decide that stuff. But I've just got to sit back and be a fan and let what happens happen.
I think that's spot on. That's exactly how I feel. Don't wish for a loss. Don't do it too much if a loss comes our way because we're undermanned and because we're trying things. The silver lining being the fact that we'll get a higher draft pick. But no, I think that's quite right.
Exactly.
Well, Jeremy, enjoy the game today. PBS looks an absolute picture, as do you, my friend. And you will be pleased to know that your good lady wife will be joining us a bit later on. So we're going to take care of her. We're going to keep her company a bit later, so she's not on.
Awesome. Take good care of her. Thank you.
Will do. Take care, Jeremy. Enjoy the game, man.
All right. Good day, Jeremy.
Good day. There we go. There's our good friend Jeremy. It's always nice to see PBS, isn't it? It's one of the real lovely things about this crazy technology, isn't it? We can go live to PBS. How about that? That's lovely.
Well, I watched Bengal Jim's drive over to PBS. They decided to live stream earlier on today, and that was a good way to waste 15 minutes of lockdown.
I know. Have you seen those? I don't think BBC 4 are doing it this year, but have you ever seen BBC 4 do those slow TV things where they?
Yeah.
I think one of them was like, bear with me, viewers. This is a slight tangent, but going like a postman I believe in the North Pole, kind of on a sled, just sort of delivering the mail, and of course, it's just a bloke on a sled driving through the snow, and it sounds really boring, but on Christmas Eve, when you've had a few drinks and you want to unwind a bit, it's actually kind of very therapeutic. So I think there's something in that. I think Jim should do like a good loop of like a 3-hour drive to Cincinnati somewhere, I think.
I'd say that the blue sky, as Captain Bengal said, the blue sky there, the conditions there were a stark contrast to last time when it looked like everything was going to blow over, wasn't it? And we saw the goalpost blowing in the wind, and but looks a nice day for it.
And are they wearing Colour Rush unis today? Is that right?
I don't know. I'll
look.
check.
If so, Jamie can claim he knew it, and that's why he put his on today.
Yeah.
I
still haven't spilt anything red on this yet.
This is going to be the ongoing thing for the rest of the season. Where are we at with the spillage on Jamie's Colour Rush shirt?
We can have like a spillage map on Jamie's shirt. Just before we bring in Laurie, the Bengals inactives for today are in. We've got Fred Johnson out, Mike Thomas out, Sutherland out on the OL, BJ Finney out, and have a guess.
Oh no, Austin's out again.
Well, there we go.
What does he need to do to get a game?
I don't know. Play quarterback, obviously. I think. Now,
Denver are doing that, aren't they today? Denver,
yes.
by the Steelers as a quarterback. I mean, he played quarterback at college, but they're putting him in at quarterback.
I commented. Broncos Europe had a live stream last night, given that all the news that basically all of their quarterbacks have been destroyed by fire had happened, and they were in disbelief, and you know, I had to comment that I'm thankful that the Bengals no longer have the worst quarterback situation in the league.
I mean, COVID suddenly, I know we try and keep this light, but there is a serious side to all this. You look at the Ravens and the Steelers, you look at I think the Saints have been fined and take, what is it, a 7th round draft pick taken away from them today because of their antics in the locker room. You know, look at Denver. COVID suddenly is biting back over there with an absolute vengeance, isn't it?
It would be easy, well, for neutrals, if there is such a thing in the NFL, to have some degree of sympathy for the Steelers. They lost their bye week, and their games keep getting pulled back.
I mean, I would have had some degree of sympathy if they hadn't spent the entire week whinging, and then, you know, you get through to Saturday, and then half of their squad are starting to come down with it, and you know, my levels of sympathy towards the Pittsburgh Steelers are notoriously small on a good day, and they haven't particularly plucked at my heartstrings enough for me to get on board with them.
Yeah, Pete, you froze there, but I think you were sort of saying it would be easy to have, if you were neutral, to have sympathy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I sensed a big but coming there at the end of your sentence before you froze.
Jamie finished it off for me. I'm a Bengals fan with the but. No sympathy my way, but there are a lot of people who think that the league have pandered a little bit to the Ravens in this occasion, and made but who knows? That's nothing to do with us, I suppose. We just focus on our game.
Absolutely. Now, you may have seen that it was Thanksgiving on Thursday, and we said we were going to have some sort of Thanksgiving special. I'm delighted to say that Laurie's waiting in the wings, and she's just put something on. Let's bring her in. It's Laurie Claridge, and you may remember Laurie from our chili special, who cooked an absolute fantastic feast, and she's done it again for Thanksgiving. We're going to go through what actually is on an authentic American Thanksgiving table. So let's bring Laurie. Laurie, hello.
Hello. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Laurie.
Good. Hi. Happy Thanksgiving. Bit late.
Nice to you.
Here's Martin.
Hello, Mr. Laurie.
Can I ask you what you're wearing?
These are just some Thanksgiving glasses.
Okay.
Which in about, I don't know, a few weeks, I'll just put bows and I'll repurpose them as Christmas glasses.
See, they're the glasses that just keep on giving throughout the year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They're not mandatory for Thanksgiving in this.
No. I mean, you know, it's an option. Fancy dress is always an option.
Absolutely. Now, Laurie, as I said to you, viewers earlier, that you were a huge hit with everyone when you went so much effort to cook that amazing chili in our chili special.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through. You sent us some pictures of your Thanksgiving feast.
I did,
I
yes.
wanted to break everything down. You asked me to sort of play them out in order, but quite naturally, I've completely buggered that up. So,
oh no, it's up to you completely. We can.
And Pete and Jane, please do chime in if you've got any comments on these sides. So you sent us something, Laurie, a map of the US with let's bring it up, and it's basically most popular Thanksgiving sides.
Yeah.
A green bean casserole in Ohio, and just below in Kentucky, where a lot of Bengals fans are, in that northern, in Covington and Newport in northern Kentucky, just over the river. broccoli casserole as well.
Yeah, that's a real, that one is out there, as is, I don't know what those Mainers are thinking up there in New England with their side salad. I mean, you know, that is a bit.
Well, is that the
That,
weirdest thing that you can see on that map? Is that the weirdest
yeah,
thing?
very top right hand corner, a side salad. That's just beyond ridiculous. But yeah, so there's quite a few themes running through here. When we have a Thanksgiving here in the UK, one of our biggest challenges is trying to make it as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
Because you don't want it to be just a preview of Christmas dinner, and
Right.
you don't want it to be sort of your standard Sunday roast either. So we have a bit of a hybrid one. We try to incorporate a few of the things that you see on the map, including the famed green bean casserole.
Well, let's bring that in, because I'm fascinated, stroke disgusted by the green bean casserole. So this is your green bean casserole.
Oh yeah, that's it. This is it. So
go on, tell us, because
I
I
was going to say
there's canned soup involved here, and I was
just going to say this was. May have heard the expression a Hallmark holiday, which is basically a holiday invented by the greetings cards. I'm not saying that Thanksgiving is a Hallmark holiday, but what I'm saying is this dish was apparently invented by the Campbell's Soup Company back in the 50s.
Right.
And yeah, it does sound quite strange, because cooking with a can of soup is not really kind of the done thing here in the UK, I don't think.
I disagree with that, Laurie. I mean,
okay.
Way back when, my late mum used to have dinner parties, and you have a circuit of friends have dinner parties, and everyone was amazed at her chicken supreme, and she never let use Campbell's condensed soup.
My grandmother used to make a pasta bake with Campbell's cream and mushroom soup.
Oh, cream and mushroom
it is a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I did try one year. I thought I will try to be posh, and I will try to make green bean casserole, just making my own cream sauce. And I have to say, it wasn't the same. You have to have the canned soup.
Yes. It takes a bit of the difficulty out of it for you as well. So that's
it does
positive.
a little bit.
If we go back to the map, I just want to comment positively on Wyoming, who have brought brown gravy to the table.
Brown gravy, yeah,
which is the good stuff, and is the official drink of the Bengals UK. And I'm also in favour of all the stuffing states in the northeast, like New Jersey and Vermont.
Yeah.
And check out the mac and cheese as well.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. The whole of the lower east coast is all mac and cheese. I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
It's
a southern thing.
I feel like John King should be on here from CNN doing the magic wall and go, because like mac and cheese, I want to zoom in on those little states and see if there are any kind of green bean casserole cities or kind of counties in there. But there's a whole block of that.
You can understand the green corn in some of those Midwest states. Can you bring that map back up, Paul? There's one I want to ask about. Alaska. What is hash brown casserole?
I have no idea. I have an idea of what it might be, but I think some Googling is required to understand that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we've had the green bean casserole, which I'm assuming is green beans, canned soup, and then some sort of crispy stuff on top. Breadcrumbs, maybe? Or...
French fried onions. You know, the French fried onions that Martin's going to go get them to show you. They come in the salad, the salad dressing aisle. So you take your soup and you mix in, there you are, French fried onions. You mix in a bit of milk and a bit of soy sauce, of all things, and some of those onions. And then, you just bake. I like to do my green beans French bean style when I do this, because it makes them nice and tender, where you kind of slice them down the middle, sort of thing.
Okay, let's go to the main event.
Yes.
Before we
this
get
must have been an absolute horror show for a vegetarian to look at, so I do apologize.
I'm powering through. Don't worry, I know I'm in the minority here. Next year, I want you to cook a tofurkey. Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
Right. So you did your turkey a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I understand Martin was in charge of this. So talk us through this. It's on the barbecue, isn't it?
Yeah. So Martin here, who sadly can't hear, any excuse. I think this is one of the reasons why he enjoys Thanksgiving so much, because it gives him a reason to cook a turkey on a barbecue. But he, as you can see, he weaves a mat of bacon together.
Yeah.
And it's got to be streaky bacon. And the bacon's main purpose, to be honest with you, is to keep moisture in and to keep flavor in, because by the time it comes off the barbecue, it's quite charred and it's not really it's very good to eat, to be fair. I mean, but it's really, this was a turkey crown that we did this year.
Laurie, how long does a turkey crown of that size take to cook on the barbecue?
Well, actually, so Martin just got a new bit of kit, and it actually cooked a lot quicker than we thought it was about 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours that took at 300 F to cook. And we're still working on it. We still have some leftovers to have.
Turkey sandwiches on
top. Yeah. But to go through all the effort, you have to kind of get a sizable one, because a little one would just shrivel up to nothing, But
and this is the finished finished beast, the slayed beast. Poor turkey. Look good. Let's go to the sides then, and I want you to tell.
Yeah.
Oh, I must say, what is this then? So
so you saw the stuffing and the dressing on the map. So this, if there's any actual Americans watching, or even Brits in the States, I will get some flack for this, because if I was doing a Thanksgiving in the US, I would never use box stuffing. So this is sort of a US version of Paxo, and we were lucky enough to get our hands on some this year, so we had some for our dinner this year. But that is sort of my expat sort of nostalgia element of this year's dinner, is using the stuffing that you only have to rehydrate, but it is so good.
Okay,
so good.
Where should we go to next? Let's get the boring old veg. Actually, no, let's do this, because there's a prawn ring or shrimp.
Is that a prawn ring?
Yeah.
Is that from Iceland, perhaps? I don't know. And is that cornbread?
Yeah. Well, we had a lovely loaf of sourdough from a bread store just around the corner from us here in Oxford. So for years, several years ago now, when we were over in the States for I don't know, was it maybe Christmas? I don't know. We found a prawn ring, and Martin felt quite enamored with this prawn served in this ring dish. And we actually found one in Tesco this year, but they seem to be everywhere now. So, but I did make some seafood, American style seafood sauce to go with it, rather than the chili sauce
which is like a salsa. It looks like a salsa. Let's just bring it up quick again. Is that a salsa-y type of?
I think it's basically like Mary Rose sauce without the mayonnaise. But it's got quite a lot of horseradish in it. It's really, really nice.
Okay.
Laurie, how many people did you have over for this feast? Because I'm sure it wasn't just the two of you.
No, the two of us. But like I said, we've been eating. We've been having Thanksgiving dinner for days. I mean, this year it was just ourselves. Yeah.
Let's get the boring vegetables out of the way.
Yeah, boring veg. So the sprouts are kind of our British element. I don't think we would have sprouts really back in the States with our Thanksgiving dinner. So we had some cider roasted sprouts and some roasted carrots as well.
And what's on top of the carrots there?
Pistachio nuts. Yeah.
That's a thought.
Now, these are obviously mashed potato.
Yes, mashed potatoes. So we have had Thanksgivings in the past where obviously we have either friends or family join us, but in our family, we have some very particular people who are sort of vehemently against mashed potato. And I'm afraid for Thanksgiving, mashed potato is it.
How can
And
that be?
I'm not willing to have a roast potato on my Thanksgiving dinner.
That's
Nor
fair
will I have the abomination of sweet potato casserole with marshmallows on my table.
enough. Right. Well, one thing you do have is that's cranberry sauce, right?
Yes, homemade. You gotta
Okay.
have homemade.
So that's
Homemade cranberry
cranberry,
sauce is
sugar,
absolutely the best.
vinegar, maybe, and what else do you put in there?
Orange juice and orange peel, and I actually put it in the oven to kind of caramelize, and it's magic. It's delicious. It's much better than the canned stuff.
Ooh. And this is your lovely Thanksgiving table there.
Yeah. Yeah, we really go all out. I mean, it's funny because back in the States, it's sort of like when we have it here, it feels like we're having our own little private holiday. So we kind of go all out with the decorations and stuff, and just try to make it a special day.
There's a pudding, isn't there? I mean, no good meal is complete without a good pudding.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It looks like a cheesecake, but is it a pumpkin pie cheesecake?
This year, actually, so normally I make a traditional pumpkin pie, but that we did make a pumpkin cheesecake this year.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
Now,
and we still have a bit for today.
It's amazing. I've actually got something to show you all that I made, and I made a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. And this was my mixture. So that's 2.5 eggs, some cream, some sugar, some like brown sugar I put in. What else? Yes, obviously about a can and a quarter of pureed pumpkin, and some mixed spice there. And this is how it turned out with all the knobbly
bits. That's good.
And it was really, really, really good. And it's so easy to make as well. It's ridiculous.
Very easy. Did you make the crust, or did you buy one, like a rolled one?
I did buy the crust, yes.
Pastry is not my friend, so I usually go with the biscuit base as well, which is also very nice with pumpkin pie. Yeah.
Well, Laurie, how long do you think you and Martin will be eating your leftovers for?
Today is it. Today is it. We'll have the leftover turkey, and then what else have we got? Cranberry. But Martin's made a ham today because today we've actually been on holiday this whole week, and from work, and he loves to cook outside. So today he made a honey baked ham. Oh, here he is. Got to show you, which is a.
Oh, look at this ham.
All we do is eat.
I was just saying, when everything calms down, I think I wouldn't advertise your address to anyone because I think everyone's going to pile around yours. This looks fantastic.
Yeah. Well, so that's just another thing that, I mean, around Thanksgiving time, if you have a big crowd, ham is probably the second most popular thing that people have. So, there's a particular type with this sort of sweet crust on it that, again, Martin is quite partial to, that you can get in the U.S. And so he's made one on the barbecue. So we'll probably have that to eat then all of this week when we're back to work. So that's quite good.
Ham is traditional on Boxing Day. So you've had your turkey and Christmas. Often you'd have a ham, and it lasts a couple of days, slices and slices and slices of ham. But I have to say, your blasphemous reference to not having roast potatoes, you've got to cook them in goose fat, and that will change.
I love a roast potato, just not at Thanksgiving. That's sort of a ground rule. So if you're not willing to, capitulate, then sorry.
I tried.
Well, Laurie, thank you so much again for joining us. It's been brilliant, and goodness me, what a feast you guys cook up.
Yeah,
I think.
But of course, at the end of the day, it's also about taking a day to, be grateful for what we have, and even in a year like 2020, it's probably, maybe a bit hard to do, but maybe that much more important to think about what is good and what we do have to be thankful for. Of course, Joe Burrow being hurt is another stab to the heart. It's 2020.
I know. Well, guys, happy Thanksgiving to you, and
Thank you.
hopefully we can speak to you soon. Maybe you can do a Christmas feast for us as well at some stage. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right. Take care of yourselves. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks so much.
Great to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, there we go. It's lovely, Laurie and Martin there. Bloody hell! I mean,
that's a lot.
That's a lot for two people. I mean, she clearly enjoys her cooking, and he obviously loves cooking outside as well.
Absolutely. Request from David Miller. Can you give his partner Tracy a shout out? She's 50 today and loved very much. And so, Tracy, a very, very happy 50th birthday to you from everyone here at Bengals UK. Thank you for interacting with us and having fun with us. And it sounds as though you are loved very much, even if there seems to be a constant war about which curry to cook in the Miller household and pasta dishes. But we send our love to you. What you said, David says he's Chinese food and cake tonight.
Now then.
What are you doing?
Well, happy birthday, Tracy. We are turning into Radio 2 at this point.
Yes, we are, aren't we? What better way than to extinguish our Radio 2 vibes, but to bring Moz back in from Stoke. Yes, he's back. He's been poorly, but now he's all right again. So let's bring Moz in, because we all want to know what to drink with this fantastic food, don't we? And Moz has got some ideas.
Hello, Bengals Nation. I'm back. I'm here in the flesh. Cleaned all up, so I don't like a furball from pre-season Big Ben. Love the gravy review. Last week I found it very funny. It definitely made me chuckle a few times. So fair play. But I'm here to do 2 beers for you guys to try. Both beers are beers I've had before, and they are long-term favourites of mine. Both strong beers, both 12%. So I will warn you about that already. They aren't the session beers, but with how the Bengals are at the minute, I wouldn't blame you if you fancy cracking them open during the game. But both of these are more for Christmas, and I think a lot of these beers I will recommend are looking towards Christmas than game day, to be honest, because there's going to be a lot to look forward to, is there? So, without further ado, I will give you 2 beers. The first one is from Wander Beyond, who are based in Manchester. It's called Coconut Crater. It's a 12% Imperial Stout. As you can guess from the name, the main flavouring in this is coconut. The aromatics of the coconut. I've had a lot of coconut stouts, and that is probably the best aromats I've ever had. But the beer itself is sweet, it is chocolatey, it's vanilla-y, it is very voluptuous, it is such a creamy, delightful beer to drink. Don't add chili as well, because some of these stouts could be room temperature, but with it being a sweet one, I recommend it being a bit more chilled, because if it gets too warm, it gets too sickly. So, it's a great beer. You can get it from Wander Beyond's website. It is £6.75 a can. So it's not the cheapest, but people who are gluten-free and vegan, they're a great brewery to go to, because they're very conscious of that type of thing. I recommend any of their stouts, really, and their fruit beers, so the blend of ices and the sour beers are excellent. A second beer is from Belgium. It's from De Dolle. It's called Stil Nat, which is Silent Night in Flemish. It's a Christmas beer at the end of the day, but it's not traditional. It tastes like Christmas pudding. It's brown, it's watery, it's pretty rubbish, like what most breweries do over here, and they're just terrible. But then it's a golden ale. It's a very strong ale. Again, it's 12%. But it does taste Christmassy. It's not the traditional flavours, as I said, but it's more fruity. It's got candied sugars in it, so it's very sweet. Like I say, it's got citrus fruits, but it does have some spices in, and coriander, and a bit of cinnamon, and black pepper, that type of thing. So it does have that Christmassy element of that side, but it is more the fruity, sweet side of Christmas, which strikes a chord with me a lot more. The price I was talking about £6.50 up. It's a beer I have at Christmas Day with my Christmas dinner. So yeah, and I've got a lot of memories going brews at Christmas and having a vintage version of this beer, and outside in the snow, and it's really cold, obviously. Just great memories, and it's a great beer. So yeah, still not. Now two beers I recommend. Yeah, then you got the Bengals. It's I'm still mourning. I think a lot of us probably are. It was a big loss because we would have definitely won that game. Washington are very lucky to even be that close at half time, and then that happens. I think we'd win tomorrow, today, Sunday, against the Giants. I think if we had Burrow, we'd win, especially being at home. But without him, I'm glad Alan's starting over Finley because you're never going to win anything with Finley. But I think Giants, while they aren't very good themselves, I think they might have a bit of the edge on us. We can get Gio running. They aren't very good against the run. So basically, you've got to rely on Gio if we're going to win this game, I think. But you never know. You never know. I'm not very confident, and I don't think I will be for the rest of the season, barring if we start winning a few games with Alan. But I just don't really see it, to be honest with you. Hope I'm wrong. Let's see, and that's that. Hooday.
Well, there we go. How good it is to have Moz back with his lovely beer recommendations, slight melancholy that always permeates his beer recommendations. And this one of them was a 12%er. Bloody.
Yeah, two strong ones this week. The Belgian Christmas ale sounds intriguing. I might look into that, how much it costs to get sent over and all that.
Do you buy different beers for Christmas? Are you big fans of like Christmas ales and all that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, I'll tend to sort of vary it up a bit. I mean, I'm currently not on I'm on a not very Christmassy 4.5% American lager, but I'll see what's out there, and if we were in more normal times, you'd be going into pubs and seeing what they'd have there, and if there were any specials on, and I'd love that. But yeah, it's a bit different this year. We'll see how it all goes.
What about you, Pete?
No, not for me. I'm just a boring lager drinker. I don't try anything too exotic. I'll be interested to watch back all of Moz's videos and see whether his recommendations get stronger beer the more the season has got worse and worse.
Yeah.
Just as Joe Burrow goes down injured for the rest of the season and maybe longer, he puts out there the strongest beers. I think we can read quite a lot into that.
I have a lot of alcohol-related memories for a Bengals Giants game. I went to the last Giants Bengals game at Meatloaf Stadium and had a pint and a half of Jack Daniels before going in, and then wondered why I couldn't work out what was going on.
Well, it's good to have Moz back. He's been poorly recently, so it is good to have him back. And look how svelte he looks with his shaved head and his shaved beard. Goodness me. Right, let's get to our own food bits and pieces. Tom McDowell had his own Thanksgiving spread on Thanksgiving, and he seems to have taken the kitchen sink approach. I think is the kindest way to describe that. I can see corn, carrot, mashed potatoes, various greens, and Yorkshire puddings are they. Pigs in blankets, just sausages, stuffing, roast potatoes, some ham, and it's all.
Yeah, I think we have to say this wasn't actually Tom, was it? This was Tom's partner who did this.
Oh yes, sorry, yeah. Tom's partner did this, so fair play to Tom's partner. It's a true UK-US fusion Thanksgiving meal there, I think.
I think all those biscuits are because of their children, I suspect.
Well, no, I think it's probably because of Tom, to be honest with you. But our old friend Scott Gibb, I don't think he knows that we're playing this out, but he tweeted out, we have turkey steaks, Texas-style cornbread, sausage stuffing, sweet potato crock, mac and cheese, and plenty of gravy and cranberry jelly for dinner tonight.
Nice.
I mean, he's got the sweet potato casserole thing going on there with the marshmallows, which is just the strangest thing I've ever eaten, I think.
The most important thing we can see there, of course, is the gravy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It is a recurring theme. Honestly, if Bisto want to sponsor us, I'm all ears.
Right, Doctor.
Now, there has been, obviously, everyone's been, well, not everyone, but some people have been trying their hand at Thanksgiving because, I say, you know, Thanksgiving in the UK isn't such a big deal. As I say, it's more of almost like a dry run for Christmas, really, I think. And but people have been having a go, and they've been putting a lot of stuff into it. And Mozza has just left a message. Well, Brian Extra said, no such thing as strong beer, only weak men. Well, there you go. Mozza says, next week I am recommending bleach and pure ethanol if this game goes horribly. I think it might do. Let's bring in another guest. We've got one more to add. It's the other half, I'd say better half, to Bengals captain. It is the lovely Jess Conley. Jess, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I think we're all very well. We've just had a monster Thanksgiving special, and we have an American woman who lives over here in the UK, and she showed us her Thanksgiving meal from the other day, and it was just enormous. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I had an interesting Thanksgiving. I didn't have my traditional Thanksgiving this year. I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. My family was exposed to COVID, so they were waiting on test results. So, and then I had actually a COVID positive patient on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So we waited until Friday, which was actually my niece's birthday also. Her party got canceled, obviously, but we did get together and have leftovers. My mom ended up cooking anyways, even though none of us could be there. But so my mom brought leftovers over to my sister's house, and we had all the traditional foods, just not on the traditional day, which is par for the course, I guess, in 2020.
Well, I was going to say, it's not really a traditional year, is it, really? And
no.
We've got to kind of get by the best we can, I think. And as safe as we can. Normally you're at the games today, but you're at home. That must be quite strange, really.
It is. It's really weird. And, you know, the weirdest part is that I don't think I've been alone in this house since lockdown started, because Captain's been working from home. And so I leave and go to work 3 times a week, but Captain never leaves the house unless we're together. So I think this is the first time I've been home alone.
Now, are you enjoying, I mean, knowing Jeremy, frankly, I'd be enjoying that time alone and away from you. But are you okay? You've got your lovely dogs with you. I can hear squeaking in the background.
Sorry about that.
So
it's like they know when I'm on the phone or anything, because then they'll start squeaking toys like they need some attention. Like, why aren't you paying attention to me? Why aren't you laying here with me?
Now as you know, we do like to go through a few food bits and pieces on this, and you've joined us at an opportune moment because there's, you know, life is all about light and shade, dark and light, and good and bad. We've had the good. You've just joined.
Oh no.
And last week we had some steak grown in a lab made from human cells. So we've covered cannibalism on this. But now we're going to go with this.
Oh wow!
What?
That is, believe it or not, under all that, another poor old turkey. I mean, that turkey died in vain for this, and. It's basically the people who've made this is called the turducken. They tried to fuse a Thanksgiving turkey with a Dunkin' Donuts donut. So they brined the bird in some Dunkin' Donuts orange culotta. Jess, what is culotta? Do you know what that is?
No. I don't know what that is.
Basically, orange, this kind of slushy drink that you get, I think, from Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, okay.
and then they put sort of traditional stuff in there like bay leaves and cinnamon sticks and whatnot, and then they've stuffed it full of munchkins. What are munchkins? They're not like little humans, are they? Are we going back to capitalism again?
They're not actual humans, no, but they are delicious. They're like, so you've got your donut, right? And then, you know, the little hole that's missing from the inside of the donut, they're meant to be like the little hole that was missing from the inside of the donut. If that's how donuts were made, which they're probably not, but that's kind of their whole thing. They call it like donut holes or munchkins, or we have another restaurant here called Tim Hortons that has donuts. And they call them Timbits. So, you know, basically it's just a very small bite-sized donut.
Okay.
They're delicious.
So it's a turkey stuffed with tiny donuts, basically. Well, they glazed it with a mixture of a pound of confectioner's sugar.
Oh God! Oh, just thinking of the rocketing blood sugar.
There's corn syrup, water, agar, and a squirt of lemon. And then after glazing, they kind of dipped it in those little things. What do you call them?
Sprinkles.
Oh yeah, or Jimmy's.
Yeah, not great, really.
That's funny. I'd try it.
Yeah, but I think, maybe.
Yeah, I'd have a bit of it.
I would try. You know, I like sweet and savory. Like, I didn't think I would, but I tried like bacon on a dessert one time.
Yeah.
And I love desserts. I have a huge sweet tooth, and I love bacon. And actually, it was good. I couldn't believe it, but I actually liked it. So I would try that. I'm not a huge fan of turkey, but I would try that turkey.
Like bacon and maple syrup is a real thing, isn't it? So you have got that sweet and salty thing going on there. Here's a chocolate bomb, and this is fortuitous because Jess is coming onto the show, and Jess is on now because you're a big fan of The Mandalorian, as I am, and so basically this is a hot chocolate bomb. You pour hot milk over, and the chocolate melts and makes the hot chocolate, and inside the bomb is a little baby Yoda. How about that?
Grogu.
Yes, Grogu. Sorry, yeah. That is available on Amazon.
We've just learned his name.
Yeah, if you want to buy someone that you love or hate for Christmas.
There is no end to merchandising.
There really isn't.
Right.
There really isn't.
Those hot chocolate bombs are really popular this year. I don't think I've ever heard of one before, but they're everywhere this year. I keep seeing them all over social media. They look very satisfying. I would definitely try one.
Mm.
A former colleague of mine, his wife used to make them, so I'd get a few coming in for free. I put some into a normal cup of drinking chocolate, and then I couldn't think for 3 hours afterwards.
Yeah. I think you were in a coma.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you feeling about the game? Because we're going to bring in our resident tipster Adam in a second, and before we do want your predictions, everybody. So send them in. Jess, how are you feeling about today's game?
You know, before Burrow went down last week, unfortunately, I really thought that this was a very winnable game. You know, now I just don't know. You know, we've never seen this kid we've got at quarterback, so I don't know what to expect. I have no expectation. If we could even just be competitive in this game and enjoy watching it, I think that would go a long way. I feel like I just hear a lot of grumbling of people saying, there's no point in watching. I'm not even going to watch any more games. I'm certainly not going to go to any more games. So I think if it's just competitive, enjoyable to watch, I think that would be a big win. If we could come away with a win, that would be amazing. I think anything's possible at this point, but you know, I'm not really expecting a win today, but I'm still hoping for one.
Yeah, absolutely. And how will your game watching differ? I mean, are you just going to take it easy on the couch, wrap yourself up in Bengals gear, have some snacks, chill, watch the game? It's going to be different, but you're going to have fun there, right?
Oh, absolutely. It'll be kind of like an away game, you know. Except it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
are you expecting Captain to live stream from the game just for you?
You know, I doubt it because whenever he tries to live stream from the game, it's always pretty awful. So we'll see.
All right.
We'll see. I'm hoping to see him on TV though, because you know everybody always says like, "Oh, I saw Captain on TV. I saw Captain on TV." I've never been home to see him on TV, so kind of looking forward to that.
I mean, it's a Bengals thing. There's a sweepstake. How many minutes into the game will the cameras find Captain and Jess?
That's hilarious. Well, you know what's funny is nobody ever says I saw you on TV. Everybody always says I saw your husband on TV. And I always tell them, like, I'm there. I'm just much smaller. I'm like a foot shorter than him. But I'm still there. I'm just, behind all the neon orange.
We had him on earlier, Jess, and he's already got a new kind of seatmate there, a couple of seats away.
Oh, good.
So he's okay. He's okay. Well, Jess, thank you so much for joining. It's always lovely to catch up with you. Enjoy the game today, and hopefully we'll get you on before Christmas. How about that?
Absolutely. Sounds great. You guys have a great day. Hooday.
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 Well, there's the lovely Jess. Always good to. We've had the full husband and wife team on today, but at different times. That's been quite nice for a change. Well, it's time, as I say, we want your predictions, so do send them over. It's time now for our resident betting expert, Adam, to tell us if you are, what is it now? We're about 40 minutes away from kickoff, who you can put some money on if you want to.
Hello, Bengals fans. Week 12 of the season, and our season's pretty much done, isn't it? Obviously, our man Joe Burrow is out for the rest of the year. Hopefully, he'll be back for week 1 next year. But that remains to be seen. It's not a nice injury, and it's going to take him a while. But he's young. He's definitely determined, and he will come back stronger, I'm sure. Do we want to win anymore? I don't know, because we need to get as high a pick as possible, try and shore up that offensive line. If we're at pick 3, which is a fairly strong possibility, we look like we could take Penny Sewell, who's apparently a generational left tackle. Obviously, that'll help going forward. Anyway, onto this game. Ryan Finley is out. Brandon Allen starts a quarterback. That has to be better than the other option. Finley is not an NFL quarterback, unfortunately. The Bengals come into this one hosting the Giants as 6-point underdog. The Giants are 3-7 this year. They haven't beaten anyone out of their own division now. This should have been one of the winnable games. We should have won last week. We would have won last week had it not been for that injury. I don't know what's going to happen, really. We don't really know what Brandon Allen's going to do. We do know that Zach must be fighting for wins to keep his job. He's obviously not been great for us. This week, Gio made it through concussion protocol. He's 15-8 to score anytime. His 47.5 rushing yards should be gettable. I would imagine that they'll be using the run game a lot more. And short passes to Gio and Boyd in the slot. Boyd his line is 55.5 receiving yards. I think that's probably doable. T. Higgins have been brilliant this year. I'm really gutted that we don't get to see Burrow and Higgins anymore. 47.5 his receiving line and 12-5 to score a touchdown anytime. AJ Green found the end zone for the first time of the season last week. Or was it the week before? I think it was last week. He's 7-2 on Unibet to score. I don't know what's going to happen. 39.5 his receiving yards. Drew Sample is 13-2, 17.5 his receiving yards. I have no idea. Brandon Allen isn't terrible, but he's a backup for a reason. So we will see what happens. I honestly think that we've got a mild chance to actually do something in this game, but the Giants defense is good and they're probably going to run all over us. Wayne Gallman for them has scored in the last 4 games. So I think they'll just keep on using him and Evan Ingram in the middle of the field, despite the fact we have a fairly decent safety duo. 6-point underdogs. Totals 44 and a bit. I want us to cover. I don't think we will. I think this could be, it was a bit of a dream crusher last week, so I don't think they're going to be too excited to come out and have to play this week. Do have a lovely Joe Goodbury cap, though, that arrived this week, which is pretty damn cool. Anyway, Hooday.
Oh, I'm just feeling the positivity pouring off that.
There is a distinct theme of melancholy permeating everything and every Bengals fan at the moment. If you are going to put any money on, please bet responsibly, please. That's something we always say, but please do that. Mozza thinks Gio gets a TD, but the numbness of regular losing is going to be helpful again. Good, thanks, Moz. Right, what about you guys? Is there? I think Adam's very right, actually, because it is such a difficult game to predict only because, you know, how do you know what Brandon Allen's going to be like?
I mean, you've got to think that, you know, he's more experienced than than Finley is.
Hmm.
And we've seen a little bit more of him in the league than Finley. Finley is not an NFL quarterback, and he's a failing of this team's approach to the season, that we didn't have a backup better than him going into the year. I want to see what Brandon Allen does. I'm not holding out much hope. Any hope that was left this season seems to have been delivered by Hermes, and is in next door's hedge at this point. I can see nothing but darkness. I've got us as a 1-point loss.
Before I bring Pete in, the news is that Quinton Spain is starting. Check this out, at his rightful position. He's playing. He started, or at least took reps in kind of game warm-ups at left guard. That means Alex Redmond's back in.
Oh right. Boy! Oh no!
And
poor Brandon.
And Jamie's mate Bobby Hart is the starting right guard, right tackle, I should say. Sorry. So that's your offensive line today: Jonah Williams, Quinton Spain, Trey Hopkins. That sounds all right, doesn't it? Alex.
Yeah, and then there's the rest.
Bobby Hart. Yes. Well, Pete, what about you? How can we? I mean, can we win this game today? Do you think
we can? Will we? It's just impossible to call. It's impossible to predict. I think we need our defense to step up. The defense has got to keep us in the game, because we can't now rely upon Joe Burrow to march us down the field almost at will, which we had enjoyed in quite a few games this season. So that defense has really got to be up to it. It's tough to call. I'm going for a 17-13 result. To which team, I have no idea. But I don't think it'd be particularly high scoring. If I just want to enjoy the game, as Jeff said, I just want to enjoy the game. I don't want to. If we lose, I don't want to be losing and feeling despair like we did against the Steelers and the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
If we lose, I just want to enjoy each game for the rest of the season, and that means having a little bit of positivity, still being in the game come the fourth quarter, still seeing a plan, still seeing some progress from the players. But I've got a low-scoring game today, 17-13.
Yeah, we'll see. My big worry is that Daniel Jones has a bit of a coming-out party today, and there's every chance that he will. Yeah, he's been playing okay in fits and starts from what I've seen, and from what I've heard, that the Giants have been a bit like us, been in a lot of their games. Do you know what I mean? So they do hang around.
I've seen a lot of people comparing Daniel Jones to Jameis Winston.
Right.
And I think that's quite apt. That he's a guy that can get you wins, but he's so frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they can be run on. They have a poor offensive line, but then again, we have a poor pass rush. So what I'm hoping is that they're going to double team Carl Lawson, and Sam Hubbard will do anything today. I don't know. We'll see. I think you're right. It might be a low score, or who knows? What if Brandon Allen just suddenly thinks, right, this is my moment? I've seen various highlights online this week, and he can throw a football, and he has thrown touchdowns, which sounds like a ridiculous thing to say when you talk about a backup quarterback. That should be the absolute minimum requirement, right? But quite patently, Ryan Finley couldn't for more than 15 yards, really. So I think they have made the right decision. It's just a case of how up to speed Brandon can get in a week. I mean, we might see Brandon Allen much better next week.
But Brandon has been on. He's been with the organisation all the year, but he was down at number 3, wasn't he? And because they drafted him, they had Finley down as number 2. It was just wrong.
Yeah,
well, they did separate him from the rest of the quarterback room because of COVID, which some other teams might have found to have been quite a useful approach this week. And maybe that's what was separating him from being the actual backup on game day, was that he was in this sort of separate bubble, and they were trying to keep him separate. And maybe sort of all the way Finley was the third choice.
He'll know the correct. he'll know the playbook. He's not just straight off the street. That's my point.
Yeah.
But it's kind of mixed. It's kind of, you know, taking reps in with the first and getting that timing with the likes of AJ Green and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and that's one of the real tragedies, isn't it? Because both Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins are on course for 1,000-yard seasons again, and now let's face it, they probably won't unless something remarkable happens. Nothing remarkable has happened to the Bengals this year apart from remarkable awfulness. So I hope there's something. I hope they kind of go out and try and win for Joe today, which won't please the tankers, but you know, whatever. What is it now? Half an hour to go before the game, so it's time for us to say goodbye. Nathan and I will be back tomorrow night with another podcast to talk about the fun that everyone's had in this game. And excitingly, of course, we're edging into December as well. It's December the 1st on Tuesday, and we're going to be doing our Bengals UK Advent calendar again this year, which means every day throughout December up until Christmas, you will see a Bengals fan from the UK wish everybody else a Merry Christmas. So that starts on Tuesday, so watch out for that. We've got some really good videos, actually. So thank you again for watching. I know it's really difficult. No one cares anymore, but, you know, it's great that people are still watching us talk nonsense. So until next week, we will be back next week. Goodbye from Pete.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from Jamie as well.
Bye-bye.
We've gone back to Radio 2 again, haven't we? Really. And it's a goodbye from me. Enjoy the game if you can.